Greetings and welcome to Wizards of Fun. My name is Eric and we're doing our first unboxing video here on the channel. At the time of this recording, Gothic comes out in about a month. So I think this will be my personal last unboxing of beta leading up to Gothic. And I don't know if we'll be opening any more beta for a while. I have to admit, I started recording this video and realized I didn't hit start on my audio. So I actually already ripped off the packaging on this and started going and then realized, oh my gosh, my audio isn't recording. So sorry about that. When opening, it does come with a foil avatar with tokens. So always cool to see these included. My plan, I have like a collection of these now. I plan to give these away maybe to new players that are getting into the game, or I actually started doing this event at my work, and people are really receptive to the game. And one individual actually reached out to me and he said, hey, what are the links? Where do I buy sorcery cards? Because I want to build a deck, which just, that warms my heart. That's awesome. That's the whole goal. I'm trying to just support sorcery. So sorry, I kind of flubbed the intro here. But yes, I did buy this beta box at SCG Con Houston 2025. So thanks to those who watched my recap video. If you haven't, please go check it out. It's on my channel. But I went to my first convention for a trading card game, which was SCG Con Houston. I went and recorded just a focus on sorcery. Had a lot of fun. And yeah, my goal with doing like this kind of a video and also like an audio cast here and there on the channel is just to have like a different format of video that I can record and upload quickly. That doesn't require a lot of editing, because that's usually what slows me down to getting uploads. It's just, you know, it takes a lot of time to edit those kinds of videos. So what's easier than an unboxing, right? So this will be kind of just us ripping. We have a lot of packs to go through, and I'll kind of just be talking over it almost like a podcast. So I hope you enjoy it. We're not looking to rip anything super, well, I mean, of course, rares and stuff are always welcome, but I don't have like a specific card or anything or goal in mind with this. And really quick, I want to give a little shout out. While at the event, a buddy of mine in my play group was actually looking to sell this Bruin playmat, which is illustrated by Brian Wackwitz, who was at SCG Con Houston. So my friend was looking to sell this. This was a mat from Sorcery Con Seattle. It was already signed. I was looking for a one-player mat, so I bought it, and then realized the artist was there at the event, so had him sign it a second time. So this is a double signed Brian Wackwitz playmat that I'm really proud to own. The next one I want to get signed is Mirror Realm by Liz Danforth, who was also featured in the video that I did. I don't think she's going to be in Vegas, so I hope she comes to Portland, because I want her to sign my Mirror Realm playmat that I ordered from the Dust Store. All right, so here we go. We're just going to kind of talk and go through these. If you're new to sorcery, welcome. There's plenty of videos out there, and hopefully by the time you're watching this, my channel has some stuff too. But my channel's pretty new, so I don't have a lot of stuff covering sorcery just yet. Love to see a Root Spider, really strong card. Cave-in as well. But welcome to the game. Let's see here. We got Primordial Spring. Again, the rarity of these cards is listed in the colloquial language, like the flavor text. So in elite site, elite is the rarity. In this case, it's the rare. So I think I'm gonna do rares, uniques. I'm gonna start a pile of trash and just separate them by rarity here. So all the ordinaries, I'll kind of just quickly go through the ordinaries. I don't know what all the cures look like, so let me know if I accidentally go through one. But I think they're supposed to be pretty obvious, but some of them are definitely not obvious. And I guess the sites I'll put in a separate ordinary pile. Okay, exceptionals, ordinary sites. We'll start with that. Yeah, so I saw last night that Eric's Curioso was putting out some new videos spoiling. These are pretty tough to open. I might get a pair of scissors here. On the upcoming Gothic cards, so some of the new mechanics like Ward and stuff, and I have yet to watch it. So after I record this and upload it, I am going to go and listen to that. I'm looking forward to that. Far East Assassin. I think I only have one copy of this, and I have two. Yeah, if you're new to sorcery, so different from other games like Magic, depending on the rarity, you can only have so many in your deck. So in this game, you can only have one of the mythic rarity, which is called unique, in your deck, which I think is really cool. I think a lot of people appreciate that because it makes pulling one of those rare cards feel that much more special and impactful. Because once you grab one, Philosopher's Stone, it's the only one you'll ever need as far as a play set. Whereas in a game like Magic, where you open a whole play booster box and get something really rare, well, that's great, but you need 3 more. So just, I really appreciate that in this game. Ooh, I got my first unique, and I've actually, I'm pretty new at the game, so there's a lot of cards in beta that I've yet to even see because it's such a bigger set than Arthurian Legends. I think it's like 400 cards or so. A unique monument to Grim Persistence. So just any cards that I'm not aware of, I will zoom in and read, but the other ones we'll kind of go through. If a spell or a non-basic ability can target in order of precedence, Blasted Oak, its site or location, or anything else at its site or location, it must. Hang on. wait. So I play this, it's a monument. If a spell or non-basic ability can target in this order, this card, the site, the location, or anything else at the site or location, it must do so. Interesting. So, okay, I can't think of a specific example, but I imagine someone plays a card where at the end of every turn something happens automatically. I play this next to it. Now this eats it, followed by anything around it, and it's also not a minion, so it doesn't. It wouldn't die to whatever that effect is if it's a damage-based thing. So that sounds pretty unique. Pun intended. Gosh, and again, if you're new to the game, I hope you enjoy just looking at the art of these cards. They're just so great. I picked up my first print for the game in the form of a Mirror Realm. I actually have it here. Sorry, it's a little... I guess you can see it. Yeah, so it's signed 39 out of 100, so I think Liz did a just 100 print run of these. So I'd like to get this framed. It's just in some plastic right now, but love to have my copy of Mirror Realm signed, also to have that signed, and then eventually I'll have the playmat signed as well. So that'll feel like, to me, a kind of a complete collection of the card, which is cool. I'm just going to reorganize my piles here. Okay. So we've got a Blasted Oak so far. I think the going rate for foils in these play booster boxes are Bedrock. Oh, cool. We got the Kraken. These come in the pre-cons, but it's funny. Like I mentioned, I was bringing these to my work parties. Someone noticed that the Kraken was missing from their pre-con deck because they saw it on the artwork, and we're like, why don't I not have this in my deck? It's because I took it out and put it in my like actual play deck. So I was like, yep, sorry, this is just to learn the game. Play at your own discretion. Some of the cards are missing. I replaced them with something else, you know. So now I can put that back in, I guess. All right. Upwelling's really cool artwork. And same for the Hydra. Actually, I think that's a card I needed a second of. It's an elite card, but really good in water decks. I think that's, again, I'm pretty new, so I'm not really necessarily looking to play like, or I'm not skilled enough to brew decks to like fight the meta. Like right now, there's a lot of druids, for example, a lot of fire druids. There's a mono water druid going around. It's like I don't have the skill personally to brew a deck to specifically hard counter that. It's more that I'm going to see what other people are playing, pick one that I think looks cool, and then maybe just do like a slight twist on it just for out of my own preference. And I think I'm leaning personally. Oh yes, I needed this. Oh, that's great. Pristine Paradise. I don't know how much this goes for, but I know I need it. So even if it's only worth $5, that's great. So I'll go ahead and zoom in. Beautiful art, first of all. A Pristine Paradise is a unique site of virgin splendor. It has all thresholds of earth, fire, water, and air. It provides no mana or threshold unless completely empty. Interesting. So it's something you'd want to put on the side into the corner. So thematically, it's cool. The artwork is really, really neat. That's awesome. I would love to see that in a foil. That's our second unique. The foils in this... Oh, what I was... If you can't tell, I'll start a sentence and then get sidetracked and never finish the sentence. But what I was going to say was that these boxes seem to come with about 7 foils on average, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've only opened 2 boxes of Arthurian Legends and this is my second box of beta. That's probably kind of like my personal, just because I'm kind of a frugal, like I want to own every card. But I feel like if I'm sure there's a spreadsheet out there that shows you the actual like statistics, but like I'll probably just order 2 booster boxes of any set and then just order the singles that I need after that. All right, Standing Stones. think that's my second copy of that. Minions here are spellcasters, so you can turn your minions into spellcasters. I'm sure that could be utilized in some cool ways. That's pretty neat. Oh, I see a foil. And the foils can be of any rarity. We got a Bone Rabble. So nothing, it's the most common, but hey, still pretty. I'll get that into a penny sleeve. Again, if you're new to the game, the foils in this game are actually good. It's not like some other games where the foils are like, and I would argue in Magic, people prefer to not have the foil. Sometimes the foils are cheaper because they just aren't of the highest print quality, and in this game, it's very, very appreciated. I'll go ahead and get my unique in a little sleeve as well for now, just to keep it clean. All right. So I'm very much looking forward to Gothic, and yes, I ordered two booster boxes, I guess I should say. I guess one difference, since I'm coming from Magic, I'm not used to having only one set a year. So I'm sure I'll buy the 2 booster boxes, do a bunch of drafts, buy some singles, but I'm sure in a few months I'll get the itch to buy another box. And we have a planar gate. Minions here can traverse the void, gaining void walk until leaving it. So that seems useful. I think I needed a second one of these, so would be fun to build something around that. I got another foil here. In an exceptional call to war. All right. At least it's not an ordinary, but just the foiling on these cards is just so good. They actually do have value, and then you get a full art print on the back. So a lot of people who collect these cards, they'll play these, or if they play with them in their deck, they'll play the card like this, not with the text, because it's kind of assumed that players already know what the card does. And then I, of course, have to be the jerk that says, hey, can you flip that? Because I don't know what it does. Because I am still quite new. And yeah, so again, if you're new, there are cards. They're kind of, I guess you can think of them as like Easter eggs. They're called curios that you can sometimes find in these packs that are extremely rare and worth a lot of money, like hundreds, if not like thousands of dollars. I would imagine some of them get up to thousands. I don't believe I've gotten any. If I did, I missed them. That's the other thing is, so they're Easter eggs, but they're not officially acknowledged by the company. So it's up to the players to kind of find them out in the wild. So it'll be interesting. Drought got me really badly at SCG Con, where they turned off. I had mostly water, and they just did this, and it's like, what does the text say? Affected sites aren't water sites, and they provide no water threshold. So he had. That's actually, now that I look at this card more, because I didn't appreciate it in the moment, that he was running a card in his main deck that specifically targets water. Like, that's how much he hated water. Because, like, if he played a deck that didn't have any water, this is a dud. It doesn't do anything. So I don't remember the deck. Maybe he had a way to discard this in case it was bad, like, wasn't good for him. But that's even more of a sting that he had, like, a hard counter specifically to my deck. Hey, we got a Mixed Terra. I think this is my first one. I actually need these. They're not super expensive, but they're cool. They're basically potions, and you can crack them to make your next spell cost 3 less of that threshold. So this is the one for Earth. Very cool. An elite potion of Lomi Libation, whatever that means. That's another thing, is it tests your knowledge of the English language, this game. So I'll have a lot of, over time, I'm going to learn a lot of these words. I always like this art a lot. Love to get that in foil. That'd be cool. Grapple Shot, one of the best cards in my current deck that I'm playing. I'm playing a water druid with a splash of air right now. Ooh, got a Geomancer. That's cool. One thought that I think they're making a really good pivot with the I think this is a good change coming with Gothic, is the avatars that come in the precons for Gothic are they're a different print, they're a different artwork than the ones that are going to come in the main packs. And I think that's really cool, because if you buy the precons for these and I already have a playset and then I open another one in a pack, it doesn't feel very good, right? Like, it's just like, oh, well, I already have that. Like, I don't need, and it's not worth much money. It just feels kind of like, okay. So I think it's really cool that they incentivize collectors to also pick up the precons, because it will have, 4 exclusive avatar prints that won't be in the main set. I think that's really neat. And Creator Eyes, a classic, just the big dog. If you're not familiar with it, if you look at that grid, like if you're new, this is how a lot of the spells work. You deal damage to the grid, which is a 5x4 grid, the game. Well, actually, is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So this is 25. I wonder why it's set up like that. I guess just because I don't know. So it's like, would you even ever reach, hang on, here, and then 1, right? Am I crazy? 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel kind of dumb, but I think there's like an extra. I guess it's just maybe. All right, I won't dwell on that for too long. I'm sure there's a reason for like, well, depending on your positioning, you want to make sure you define where that hits. But that's how the damage is dealt. So you deal 10 to wherever this lands. It destroys that site, turning it to rubble, and then doing an impact outward. So thematically, it just makes sense. It's great. And there are some decks that play cards that double the effect, dealing 20 damage and getting them to death's door in a single turn, which is pretty nuts. Whoa, that is really cool. And it's my first unique foil. Oh my gosh. I've never pulled a Gigantism. I think this card is pretty commonly played in Earth decks. You give an allied unit +6 this turn. You could only, that's a pretty straightforward reason why it's so good. Just, well, I could attack you for 2, but I could also attack you for 8 here. Here we go, Or give it double strike with this +6 power and really get in with like a Grim. Wow, okay. Historic moment for my personal collecting. My first foil unique. That's so exciting. Pity these meek and measly men, says the flavor text by Alan Pollock. That's great. Let's check out the back here. Wow, that is cool. Gigantism, look at that. Yes. Oh, that makes me so excited. So we got our first foil unique. Not that I plan to sell it, but I am curious what it goes for. I personally am the type of player who generally will sell a high value card that I don't need in order to fund buying more. Like if there's no way, I don't think it'd be this much, but like, for example, if I pulled a card and it was worth $200, I think I'd rather sell it to get a whole nother play booster box than just keep the single card, unless it's a card I need. But if it's just like a foil version, it's like I could sell it for $200, buy the non-foil version so I still have it as a play card, and then already went through these, I'm sorry. That's kind of the collector I am, at least at the moment. Kind of partially frugal. Someone who wants to collect it gets to have it. Not that I don't have, I think anything like I win at an event, I'd probably keep for more sentimental reasons, but my ultimate goal is to have a playset of every card. So if I can sell one card in order to do so, I will do it. Yes! I do not have a queen yet, so that's great. I don't know if this is an expensive one or if it's like 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks, but I think it's kind of in that realm. Like it's not, I don't think it's $1. Maybe it is. Either way, I needed it, so I don't really care. I'm not going to be selling it. Queen of Midland, a unique mortal, calmly and covetous. After an opponent draws a card, if they have more cards than you may draw a card. Oh, interesting. That's cool. That's cool. I think I've only played against it once, which is why I forgot what it did. But that is really cool to get into the collection. Adding it to the binder. And I see a foil. I'm sure you guys can tell based on that art what it is. Rain of Arrows. That's cool. That's cool. I actually kind of like getting the, I mean, I would prefer a foil unique, don't get me wrong. But getting a foil common is cool because, or an ordinary, because it means I'm going to keep it. I'll always have a foil version of the card to play. Oh, and wow, that's gruesome, man. I never noticed how gory this artwork actually is. Guy's got an arrow going through his mouth, coming out the back of his head. Oh, it's going in from the sky. Got it. So it's coming in like through the back of his neck, actually. That's crazy. Rain of Arrows. I think this deals 1 to everything in the realm, right? Deal 1 damage to each above ground minion. Oh, for some reason I thought you could use that as a kill spell at death's door, but it specifically states minions. For whatever reason I thought, so it's, yeah, so it's even not, it's even less good than I thought. It's even worse than I thought is the word I'm looking for there. Very cool. I think, there's no way I'm alone in this, but I have noticed that opening beta is a lot more of an enjoyable experience than Arthurian Legends, just because there's so many more packs that come with it. So I'm really glad to see that Eric's Curiosa is Bottomless Pit, good staple card, is going back to having more. I think they're doing 36 again for Gothic. I'm really glad they're doing that. I think it's just more. There was a shout out to Team Covenant. I think was one of the members of Team Covenant came to SCG Con with a Wolves deck. I didn't get to see him play it in depth, but he was sitting next to me, and in one of their most recent videos, they were talking about it, and so I made the connection, like, oh, I think it was that guy. Yeah, there's just so many. You just get so much enjoy. Like, I don't know, like opening 36 packs just feels better, but also Arthurian Legends, like the way they did the uniques and the rares, you got a lot of duplicate cards, which after a second box, you're like, okay, I think I'm good here. Is that a foil? No. Hey, Rift Valley, I actually need this. This is a good staple card in the game, and I think I only have one. All right, and I'm back. So, unfortunately, the camera I use, it kind of overheats. Not kind of, it does overheat every like 20 or 30 minutes. So what you guys are seeing now is the same camera, but it's not recording. It's in standby. So you'll see that it's a little more grainy. The video is not as good quality. Over time, I'm gonna upgrade kind of my recording setup here in my little office here. So apologies for that. Bear with me. I'll let the camera cool down for a bit, and then when I hit, so watch this. When I hit record, see how it's better quality again? But it causes the camera to overheat if you go for too long, it's an old Sony DSLR. So bear with me. It's gonna look a little crummy in and out. I'm gonna have to just upgrade cameras, over the course of time. This is just what it is for now. But yeah, Rift Valley, I think I only have one of these, and it says you may pull apart a partial row or column to make a void in which to play this. So you basically get to push aside, if you think of it like all the sites are in a row or a column, you can push them up, and then this goes in the middle of it. So if there's a site that you would rather be one back or one forward, if they have a very advantageous position with one of their sites, you can just push it out of the way. And I think it's very heavily used, or very commonly used in a lot of the Earth decks. So cool to get that, just some of these staple cards. Again, this is my second box, so my goal is really just to kind of get most of, if not all of, like the elites, a playset of them, sell the duplicates that I don't need. Of course, we want uniques and stuff too, but goal here is to just get the bulk of the set, and then from there I can buy singles to fill out the rest that I need over time. We got the recurring Spectre. It cannot defend. It may be cast from your cemetery. Okay, I think I have seen this. Like some people do run this card. You can only have 2 copies, but you can recast it every single turn, assuming you sack it into something. So if you have any spells that care about whenever something dies or whenever you cast a spell, something happens, it's a recurring castable thing. So I can imagine, again, I'm so new that I don't know all of the use cases for all of these cards. And I am not in any rush to figure them all out. I'm very much enjoying knowing there's a lot that I have yet to discover. Ooh, I don't think oh, that's unique. Great. Star Seeds of Ur. Just for the unique, I am going to hit record on my camera, even if it needs to cool down further. But now, so you see how much better that quality is? But I have to literally be recording to an SD card for it to boot, to try to look good, and which causes it to overheat, which is a bummer. But Star Seeds of Ur. A unique magic mourns a long lost past by Brian Smith. Shout out to Brian Smith. It's got some of the best art in Sorcery. There's so many good artists, but Brian Smith definitely stands out as one of like the darker ones. So I would hope he's in Gothic. I think he is. He better be. Fill up to 13 voids with rubble. We're getting a lot of Earth cards. Yeah, we're getting a lot of Earth stuff. So I'm going to place that there. If you have a, I guess like a Geomancer, I'm just trying to think of like, as a newer player, what would that use case be? I guess you connect, there's our Wave Shaper, so we got another avatar there that we don't necessarily need, but still pretty cool. I guess like a Geomancer, or yeah, just the ability to act, like to move around the realm. You can like, okay, they have this blocked off so I can't get around, but now if I fill it up, and then maybe I run Earth Air and I fly into it or something. I'm not really sure. Harpies is extremely good if you've never played with this card. You teleport a target weaker minion anywhere in the realm to this location and then strike it for 3. Just very good removal on smaller things. All right, and we got a Mordic Druids. I don't believe I've ever seen this, so I'm going to zoom in. Elite Mortals of Primordial Vengeance. Spellcaster, whenever you lose life due to an undefended attack nearby, the attacker's controller also loses that much life. Whoa. It's okay, so it's a minion. I've never seen this card. It's like, okay, if I haven't seen a card, it's very possible it's because no one plays it. And there's probably a reason no one plays it. However, the meta is about to get shaken up a lot with Gothic. So I kind of enjoy being a little bit ignorant to all the use cases of these cards because it will make brewing in Gothic that much more fun. There's gonna be new 13 avatars with Gothic. I'm very lightly looking at the spoilers, not a lot. I'm not wanting to. I really do want to enjoy it. And by the way, this is definitely wave 3, maybe wave 2, but I think it's for sure wave 3, just based on the saturation. You can tell. Puppet Master. You can gain control of all target minions here until the Puppet Master leaves the realm. Is that seen a lot? That seems pretty good. I could see a use case in that being used for sure. Gain control of a bunch of stuff and then do something with it. But yeah, so I haven't even looked at like the pre-con avatars, although I know one of them is like every turn you can summon a skeleton, something to that effect. And then I'm sure you can sacrifice the skeletons with other cards or something like that. But I don't know what Ward does yet. I know that's a new mechanic, and so I'll listen to that video where they talk about it a bit after I record this, because they just released some stuff. I really like this art. It's just an elite, but it is cool. The Candlemas Monks, when it dies, proceed to the end phase. So it seems more of like when on your opponent's turn, if they want to kill it, it'll end the turn. So they have to kill it last, I guess. I don't know how I'd see a benefit of ending your own turn quicker, but I did see a foil. What did we get, baby? Hey, cool, an elite. Nice. Nice. So we got an elite foil, and I think this is my first copy of this card. That art is so cool. Brian Smith is back with this guy, the gross Poltergeist, an elite spirit and ghost in the shell. Tap, this card leaves the realm, gain control of a nearby artifact and animate it. It's an automaton with power equal to its cost and has its own bearer abilities. Oh, interesting. So it becomes a minion and then it's like bearing itself. So if it was like a Ring of Morgan, it becomes a minion ring that also does its own thing. Interesting. But it costs how much? 3? I'm curious what you'd want to use that against. Again, though, as like new cards come out in the meta, maybe there's something in Gothic that is like a 4 cost artifact that sees a lot of play, and then this card will suddenly, although it has to tap, so you'd have to give it haste somehow. Maybe you have one of like the haste sites or something like that. But that's an elite foil. So let's see, we've gotten 4 of our likely 7 or so uniques so far. So I anticipate to see like 3 more within all these packs. And we've also already gotten a lot of our foils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So out of the rest of we're only like halfway done. But the next, all of these packs will be mostly elites, I think. Man, some of these are just brutal to open. Come on. All right. I think that's actually my first Flaming Sword, despite just being an excellent, or an exceptional. Chains of Prometheus, very nice. Whenever a player draws a card, that player taps their strongest untapped minion. I had this played against me, and I was like, well, why would you play that if it also affects you? Well, 2 lightning bolts back to back. That's cool. I don't think I've ever seen that. Is that common? he was playing a Enchantress, which is an avatar that animates non-minions, or sorry, it animates auras into a minion for a turn. So whenever he draws a card, he doesn't have any minions on the field to tap. But every time I draw a card, it does. And it was very good, and I think I lost that game. Wow, look at that banger. We got Bridge Troll, or wait, maybe Bridge Troll isn't that good. I was thinking gosh dang it, the Troll Bridge. So this is Bridge Troll, and then there's Troll Bridge, I think, in Arthurian Legends as a site, which is a really good card. And I think the curio of this is called Bridge Toll, I think. And then the one in Arthurian Legends is for that Toll Bridge, as you look on the back and it says, there's something different on the back with it, which made me think it might be the curio. So that's the only ones I know. Drew Tucker as well is a really, really cool artist in this game. I have one card signed by him that I traded with somebody. An elite site of Uncertain Apprehension is Mirage. This is a really, really cool art. When played, you return a site in play you own to your hand to play this site in its place. Interesting. So I could see that just basically get another Genesis effect from a site that you have. So maybe you want another desert to ping a tawny, or you want to make another lance or something like that. Am I right? And that's the use case. Let me know in the comments if any of my thoughts on how these cards are used is like completely wrong, and you're like, by the way, that card is used for blank. I would appreciate that. Also, let me know if I'm going too slow. I see I have a lot of packs left, and we got a ways to go. Gnome Halls is super cool. I think it's minions with power 3 or greater can't enter. So I had heard a cool story recently where someone, to get around that, they used Shrink, I think is the card, to shrink down their own avatar to be able to get through it. Alrighty, we're back. Sorry, my camera overheated again. So until we get another unique or another foil, I'll just keep the camera in the standby mode here so it just doesn't look as good. But anyways, yeah, so someone found a creative way to use Shrink to get through the Gnome Hollows, which I think is just a testament to, like, it makes me wonder if the developers of the game, I think the person talking about it even made this thought, so it's not really my thought, it's his, but it was, I wonder if the developers even considered that as a use case. Like, when they made Shrink, did they ever think that someone would use it on their own minion or avatar to get past like a Gnome Hollows? And if not, that's just, I think that's even almost cooler. Like, players are able to find really, really cool ways to play the game, maybe not considered. Yes, I needed a second sinkhole. That's great. I think one comes in the precons. Maybe that's not true, but I believe that it came in my precons, and I needed a second one for a deck I wanted to build, and realized I didn't have one, and was considering just buying another precon box to get a bunch of those staples. But looks like opening this box today, I'm getting a lot of the cards that I would have wanted, so that's great. All right. So if there's any cards I'm hoping to get today, I don't think we've got, I mean, we've got a unique foil, a unique elite, we got a queen. Nothing too crazy though, I don't think. Maybe the Paradise site might be worth a little money. Seasoned Sellsword. It would probably be, I did just buy a Philosopher's Stone, so although of course we want to open one and sell it because it's worth money, I'm hoping to see cores, because I at the moment have the water and the air core. So it's like aqua core and I forget the air one, what it's called, but I have those, which neither of them I opened. I traded and or purchased them. So it'd be really cool to get a fire, I forget what it's called, lava core, magma core, and the earth one. Giant Shark. I've always wanted to make a deck with Giant Shark. I haven't seen anyone do it, but I would love to do it. Essentially, within your body of water, whenever something moves, this comes and strikes it for 5. I'd love to build around that. I think that would just be super fun, even if it's bad. Sky Baron as our elite. Airborne, all other minions lose airborne. I have seen this played. You know, if there's a lot of airborne stuff in the meta, you can just turn them all off. Seems pretty cool. No foils here. Shout out to, I saw a guy on the Facebook group, and they did a mortality cosplay holding up this card and like wearing that same outfit. I thought that was really cool. I'd love to do a sorcery cosplay. One of the cornerstones I went to, someone dressed up as a sorcerer, which was just so neat. It's like people are just very organically, very excited about this game and want to support it. I think players, and even like my motivations to start making some videos, whether or not hey, self-same. I didn't know that this was in beta. I already have 2 copies of this, but I had to buy it. It's not worth a lot, but it's a very, very, very good card. You basically, it says may be summoned as a copy of a nearby minion. So this basically comes in and copies anything, which is just awesome. Very, very, very useful. So I'll add that to my trade binder. Ooh, and I can already see it. I got a foil pirate ship. That's great, because I run pirate ship in my water deck. Yeah. And since it's ordinary, I don't see any world in which I like sell this or keep it in a binder. I would play with this. I think any of the ordinaries and exceptional foils I'll probably just play with. And this one is very simple because it's it costs 4, it has 1 water threshold, 5 power, and is water bound and is immortal. So as long as you know all of that, you can just cast it like that. I promise I'd turn on the camera again when we get a foil. So let's turn it on and get a better look. Yeah, it's a bummer. I hope it's at least humorous how janky my setup is. Again, I didn't realize that my camera looks worse in standby than recording until like starting to do these videos. I'm like, oh, that's why it looks so much worse. So in short bursts is great, but for these unboxings, I'm gonna need to figure out like a GoPro or just use like a cell phone or something that is not gonna overheat on me. So bear with me. I'll work on that. All that stuff costs money, and this technically works. So I'll turn the camera back off. Let's just do that. We'll turn on the camera for the uniques and the foils, and otherwise I'll keep it off. How does that sound? That way I don't have to, my goal is to not have to like edit these. I just want to like spit them out and upload them. So I'll have to upload the couple times that this camera overheated this video, but otherwise, whoa. Possibly our last unique, maybe second to last. So let's turn the camera on. All right, Lord of the Void, 3 air threshold, 9 casting cost, and 0 power. What the heck is this thing? A unique spirit of unspeakable emptiness. Void Walk. At the end of your turn, Lord of the Void may banish an adjacent site unless there's an avatar there. Okay, that's interesting. So you'd have to really ramp up to this, maybe use like a 4 Waters of Paradise, or maybe a mix, the air mix. You cast this, it's a 0 power, but it doesn't Void Walk, so you can put it like into the void next to stuff that can't touch it, and then just start destroying sites and move around and destroy sites at the end of your turn. That sounds pretty cool. Again, have I ever seen anyone play this? No. And that might speak to why it's not played, because it might not be great, but what's holding me back from building a deck around that and trying it? Let's do it, I really look forward to Gothic, not kind of intentionally not doing what the meta is, and because worst case, I make a deck and it's terrible, but now I know why, I couldn't say why it's bad right now. I only assume it's bad because I don't see anyone else playing it. All right, Kobolds is great. Hey, love to see Chaos Twister. I think this might actually be my second copy, so glad to have this. If you guys have not seen Chaos Twister, it's hilarious, and it's definitely in the spirit of sorcery. It says place a target minion on the back of your hand physically, then blow it off from a height of at least 1 foot. Deal damage equal to its power to each unit atop the site it lands on, including itself. So if you've never played with it, you cast it, you pick a strong minion of your opponent's on the field, grab it, and at the very worst, that thing will kill itself because it will land in the void and die, or land on something else and die. But your goal is to land it on some of their other minions, or maybe some of their other, their avatar, perhaps. And you would think that card is never played. Like, wow, that sounds goofy. Why would anyone play that? Why, like, if it's risky? You'd be surprised. I've seen it at every event I've gone to so far, and it's been very, very good. But I've also had times where, because at the least, they pay 4 mana and remove your strongest thing on the field, right? So it's still really good. but it has the upside of possibly getting more than that. So the last constructed tournament I did, they missed their target and I was super happy, but I was like, oh, but you still killed my thing. Like it wasn't terrible. But I've had other ones where all of my, oh, we got one more foil. Ooh, hey, I don't think I have Enchantress yet. Let's turn on the, I don't know if that's considered a unique. It doesn't say what the rarity is for avatars, so I actually don't know how that works. But let's turn on the camera. And it is an Enchantress. So again, yeah, I talked about this briefly, but whenever you cast a spell, oh, it's when you cast a spell. So whenever you cast a spell, you may animate a target aura until your next turn. And it's an aura minion with power equal to its cost. So if you have 2 or 3 auras going, you can cast 2 or 3 spells, turn them all on and attack. I think, I would argue Enchantress is really, it seems like it's underrated, but the times I've played against it, it's been very scary. Especially in a meta where a lot of people are running minion hate, you know, like removal and stuff. I know I certainly do. None of my cards are effective against his thing. Well, it does say until your next turn though, right? Whenever you cast a spell, you may animate target aura until your next turn. So that means they do turn it into a animated creature and that I can remove it on my turn, I think, right? Until your next turn. It's an aura minion with power equal. Yeah. So I think it's just a matter of like the timing of it. And we got another foil. Whoa. Here we go. An exceptional leap attack. Never used this card. Let's see here. Nor have I had it played against me, I don't think. An ally may take a step, then it strikes each enemy at its location. Okay, so the idea would be that you would move normally tapped, then cast this. It may move another step, and then it strikes everything there. It doesn't fight, it strikes. So that's a potential way they're like, oh, you know, they might think that it takes me 2 turns to move and attack because I have summon sickness or something. You may take a step. I guess I have a judge question. If I was to cast a minion that has summon sickness and then play this immediately, is it able to take the step? Or is it like, it may take a step if able? Is that kind of the... But then that would mean if you moved and tapped, that it's not able, right? So I would imagine Leap Attack allows you to do it, even though I'd like... I mean, let me know in the comments, but I'll probably check the FAQ. By the way, if you're new to the game and have questions like that, really, really cool resource. Oh, nice. I was going to say, one of the cards I'm looking for, I think that's probably all of our uniques. We've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 in total. This was one of the cards that I was gonna say that I don't have yet. This and Maddening Bells, and of course the cores. So I'm really glad to just get this in my collection, even if it's not worth a lot. I just need it. That's the thing, is I'm less worried about like the monetary value. I just have it checked off. I never have to look for this card ever again. A unique mortal. Prognosticates the end. It costs 5 though. Nearby units take double damage except from strikes. They take double damage except from strikes. Okay. Is that used a lot? Nearby you cast it, and then you attack with a bunch of stuff and everything takes double. I feel like there's other ways to deal double damage that isn't quite as expensive. Like with the Mask of Mayhem and stuff like that. I don't know. But yeah, so sorry. A really, really good resource if you're new or have a specific question about how a card works. If you go onto the codex, actually, sorry, not even the codex. If you just go onto curiosa.io, I'll always have that linked in my descriptions of my videos. It's basically the card lists all of the cards. Poison Nova, a great staple. And an Ancient Dragon. I've never gotten this card, so I'm just going to zoom in. Breathtaking Majesty, 6 power. Deal 4 damage to each other unit at a target location nearby when tapped. Interesting. Yeah, I'll be interested to see if more dragons become playable with Dragon Lord, like later on as dragon. Like there might be a dragon set that comes out in the next couple of years. Who knows, you know? Another foil? Wow. In the ordinary, Peliburi Bats, which is definitely played in like the Avatar of Air decks, like Mono Air. It's just a solid 2/2 for 2. And I apologize, I got interrupted a couple times, but my to finish that thought, if you go on Curiosa.io, you can, whenever you look up a card, there's an FAQ for that card that answers common questions on how the card works. So like for that Chaos Twister, for example, like how does this work? What are the rules? There are some rules that aren't written on the card, like you can't blow off of your hands more than once. So you can't go like, you have to do it in one go. You also have to use a non-sleeved card to make it so that it's a little bit more random. It's a little less weighted, for example. So if you have questions, like I had a question on that leap attack, I would bet money that if I go onto the Curiosa.io and looked up the FAQ for the card, it would say, can I use this on something with summon sickness or something that's tapped? I would imagine. So that's a very, very neat resource if you're in the middle of a match and have access to a computer, is you can quickly look up like, well, let's see what the FAQ says for this card, because there's no way we're the first ones to ask the question. Beta packs, open them from the bottom, by the way. I'm now realizing 30 packs in. It's a lot easier to crack them open. All right. Whirling Blades, Ruins. Hey, gotta love to see Pudge Butcher. I did just buy the Dust Store promo version of Pudge Butcher. Hey, Infernal Legion. Can't have too many of these. I think this is my second copy, and so I needed a second copy of this card. This one's just great. At the end of your turn, you deal 3 damage to each other adjacent unit. And this, I believe this is one of the cards that Duo won with at the SCG Con Houston. He had 2 of them in play. And it's just like, how do you deal with that? It's so much damage, and it's a 6 power minion by itself. So even if you're not using its end of turn ability, it's a 6 power minion, man. It's crazy. In this game, like a vanilla 4/4 is good, you know? Which I really love. It's another thing I really love about this game. You know, games naturally do power creep over time. They do. But I really hope that this game, hey, I have this, I actually traded for a foil. I got another unique. It's like my 8th one, right? I have a foil of this, which is cool. So maybe I'll keep the foil and then play with this one, or sell the foil and keep this one. I'm not sure. It costs 2. It's a unique magic of Great Awakening. You gain 2 for the turn for each allied spellcaster. So maybe you have, is an avatar considered a spellcaster by default? Like if I had my druid with my Tawny, is that 2 spellcasters? Giving me 4 mana here, but you have to pay 2 for it to get 2. So ideally you'd have like 3, it sounds like. So I don't know how often this card sees play, but I don't know. If you were playing a deck that had a bunch of spellcasters, I could see it being useful. Get like 8 mana for the turn. But to finish that thought, I just hope that the game, it seems like right now, yeah, like I said, like a vanilla 4/4, like the Amazon Warriors. I think it's 5 mana for a 4/4 or 4 mana for a 5/5, something like that. Ordinary. That in and of itself is good. That's a good card. And I hope that although games do, there's Shrink, yeah, that I talked about getting into Gnome Hollows. I do hope that the game, despite, you know, it has to come out with new cards. Dwarven Forge as our elite. Very cool. Try to fix the focus there. Of Sweaty Artisans. Anyone may card your weapons or armor here, and for 1 less. I haven't seen that played a lot. I just hope that they do keep the power level, you know, as uncrept as possible for as long as possible. Because I think there's something really special about a game that's just like, hey, this is a 4/4. And everyone's like, oh my god, it's a 4/4. Like that goes a long way, I think, for players. Giving, and we got a Sorcerer avatar at the back there. Pretty cool. Not needed at all, but cool. We're down to our last 2 packs. Thanks again for watching and hanging out. If you have any critiques besides my terrible camera, I'm sure I could turn on the camera for the rest of this video here safely. Please let me know. Let me know if you enjoyed it. I'm going to be kind of uploading a kind of variety of content. And I'm one to not be able to stay on one topic. As we open cards, I get very interrupted. Mother Nature. I actually own one of these, so I'll just add it to my trade binder. I don't think it's played very much, but it's hilarious. At the start of your turn, you reveal your topmost spell, and if it's a minion, you may summon it. It does cost 6 to get her on the field, but like, if you're playing a mono blue deck, that's another unique. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 uniques. That's awesome. I Yeah, I've been trying to finish the thought, and I think I lost it. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, just that I hope that they, while coming out with new sets and stuff, that they expand like almost like wider as opposed to higher in power level, if that makes sense. Like, okay, we're not going to increase the power level of things, but we're going to make a bunch of more skeletons and zombies and undead and evil stuff in Gothic. So cards in those categories will maybe get a little bit of a boost. Oh, I have 2 more packs. Second to last pack here. I hope that's kind of how they expand. Like, hey, we're going to come out with a new type of minion. Like, fairies came out. That doesn't see a lot of play. So maybe they'll come out with a card that makes it so the fairies are more playable, but not necessarily broken. And we got another foil in here as well. So this seems like I don't think we've gotten a ton of value out of the box, but for myself just trying to collect cards, this seems like it's been pretty good. I wanted a Doomsday Prophet. I don't think I need any of the mixes. I think I'm good. So I'll add this to the trade binder. But we got another foil, which is exciting. Let's see what we got. All right. There's that Amazon Warriors. Yeah, so it costs 5. Oh, and I misspoke. So it's a 5 for 5. And that's all it is. And it's good. It's a good card. You play that, especially in like a draft or something, it's like, oh my god. And a Dalkian Phalanx. And I think this card sees a lot of play. It's a 5 power for 4, but it can only move forward. So it's like you're getting an extra power on it for 1 less cost, but it can only move forward. And it thematically looks cool. They're pushing forward like 300 Spartan or something like that. Pretty cool. So I just hope that the game is able to preserve that nature of like, hey, just vanilla creature with a bunch of power is really, really good and should be respected, as opposed to just adding like a bunch of like abilities to things. Like other games kind of feel like that, where it's like, if this happens, then do this. But if this happens, this triggers, and this happens, and this. But you have, that's for 1 card, but you have multiple of those. Now you're keeping track of like spaghetti code, and it kind of just loses the fun. I like the simplicity of like, big creature, I must remove it. I am scared of it. Oh, opening from the bottom did not work for this pack. All right, I take that back. I thought opening from the bottom would be I don't know. All right, last pack. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Cornerstone, just a beautiful artwork. Only an exceptional, but always cool to get. This is the last pack. We got an Island Leviathan. I believe I already have 2 copies of this, so I'll add it to the trade binder, but a fun card if you're playing mono water. And just because of the last pack, I'll just have like a final thought before I wrap this up. At SCGCon Vegas, I look forward to seeing you guys, so let me know if you're going. And I plan to play a mono water druid. That may change, but at the time of this recording, that's what I'm thinking. Even if it's not the strongest, but I have seen, I think the guy who got 2nd place at Baltimore was playing water, or maybe I'm mixing that up with Houston, but I think it was Baltimore, and was playing a water druid, and I think that's awesome. I consider myself like a water wave shaper, maybe Avatar of Water. I haven't played with that the alpha cards yet, but I really like playing water decks, even if they're like B tier. I think they're just a lot of fun. So that's probably what I'll bring to the event. It also makes it easy to keep track of threshold because it's only water. And with this card, if you get 8 threshold, I guess I'll read it if you're new. It's a sight, but if you eventually get to 8 threshold, you may transform this into an 8 power monster. And then you flood the rubble underneath the site and can move around and attack stuff. So it's kind of this like impending threat that sits on the field all game. I don't think we're going to get any more foils. I guess the only thing we could get is a curio. So let's just slowly go through here. My signed card from Drew Tucker is a Men of Lang, by the way, which is really cool. So I look forward to seeing you guys at SGCon Vegas. And I'll also be at SGCon Portland. So let me know if you're going to those, and I look forward to seeing you guys. And that marks the end of probably my final beta box opening for a while. Well, camera overheated again for a final time, so I just got all the cards here. These are all the uniques. I got 8 of each, which is really cool. I can't say off the top of my head whether I got my $150 back. I don't think I did. But these are cards for my collection to play with, so I'm not worried about it. There are a few I'm going to add into the trade binder, but I had a lot of fun opening it. This will probably be my last box opening leading up to Gothic. But again, this game being a game where there's only 1 set per year, maybe halfway into 2026, I'll buy a box of beta just to buy a box of beta just for fun. We'll see. I'm very much enjoying the box opening experience with this game compared to other games. The fact that it comes with dust is really cool. Comes with guaranteed tokens and like a box topper avatar, which is just kind of nice. You can hand those out. But also having a pretty consistent amount of like the uniques and foils that you can expect, and also the chance to pull curio. So it's all of that in one box. So even if you open it and get a dud, hey, I got some dust, I got some bulk, I can sell it off, I got some foil. You'll always get some foils. I really enjoyed this box opening experience, and I'm really looking forward to Gothic, and just want to thank Eric's Curiosa for making it such a fun experience. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. This is my first unboxing on the channel, so if you liked it, leave me a like. If you didn't like it, let me know what I could do better in the comments. I'd appreciate any constructive criticism. That's all from me. Thanks for your time, and I hope to see you guys again soon, and I'll see you at SGCon Las Vegas 2025. I'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.